Y'all niggas better get on, man. The train finna take off. Last minute to the fourth quarter, you know, ninth inning. I ain't never met a man I couldn't trust to be your man. And the motive behind your actions, I ain't trying to understand. I just dealt with the hand, I'm a hell of a player. Hype for the nigga, I'm about to double the lay and see when this shit get thick. Bitch niggas start running through these thin-chested niggas. I can see they hearts pumping, fuck around and get punished. You civilizing the jungle, I can sense your innocence and I'm coming to take it from you. Can't even tell you I'm feeling your struggle. Nah, I never tried to be something that I'm not.
Joey, yeah, right, my brother. One of my day ones. What's going on with everybody out there, baby? How's everybody doing?
Can't see it, it's harder to do than it is to say. You can't fit my shoes, you can't walk this way.
805, what it do?
Come on, dog, you know it's a little bit more to it than that, right? Well, fuck it, I'm gonna get you a little bit of experience. You ready?
Man, you know, I'm living, learning, chilling. What up with it though? I see you out there doing your thing, Joey. You hear I got this William Ness playing in the background. Security boy. Yes, sir. I see you doing your thing, man. Good work. I like to see all of us winning, man. Everybody, all of my brothers and sisters out there, all the kings and queens out there winning, doing their thing, and you know what I'm saying? Just know that even if I'm not in touch all the time, I'm watching you work, I'm watching you grind, and I'm watching you be successful from afar, and I really appreciate it. Send me some tracks. Yeah, you gotta let me know how to do that because, you know, I always use my brother William S. And y'all go follow I am William S. on Instagram. But I always use his music for my videos. Or I try to use his music for my videos with his permission. This mixtape, you know what I'm saying? I helped him produce it, so, you know, I put it together. He of course, did the music, the tracks, the writing, everything that got to do with it. But with me, I just took and compiled his catalog, and I wanted to have something that flowed and melody went with it. You know what I'm saying? I put it together and did it like that. But let me know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been trying to send it online, though. Okay, I got your email. But I've tried to email it before. But I'm going to try it and then let me know if it goes through or not. You know what I'm saying? Boxing Dad, salute. My bad, I forgot somebody. Who was that?
Come visit, man. It's like the great adventure, homie.
Izan, what's going on? Salute, King. Kwame Asherala. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all my people out there that's going through this. Those of us who know, we ain't even tripping. You know what I mean? We're going through it like everybody else. We know what time it is, but you know, at the same time, we knew this was always going to happen anyway, so we're not tripping on a certain level. We wait for things to play out like they're supposed to play out. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of us, you know. Okay. I see what you got going on, Jory. I'm gonna try to do that when I get off this live. And here go that Jimi Hendrix. William S. on Jimi Hendrix. Come on now. Can I hear that? I'm sorry, I'm just chilling. I don't got no topic. I don't got nothing. I just have people asking me how I've been doing. What's up with me? You know, somebody been rocking with me for a minute. Some of my brothers and sisters been out there for a minute. So I'm going to do this live to let y'all know I'm alive and well. And I'm living and learning. You know what I'm saying? Real rap. What it do? Goose and Oldies. Thoughts on this coronavirus shit? I'll say this, Goose and take the proper procedures, because there is a lot of stuff always going on out there in terms of sicknesses, diseases, viruses, bacteria, and things like that. So always take proper precaution. Stay, keep a good hygiene, things like that. I would say what we see in terms of a lot of the panic is equivalent to if you see somebody running, like if you're chilling somewhere and you see a group of people running, you know what I mean? And you see it, so you're going to get up and run too. I see a lot of that. So a lot of people are afraid because, they see other people afraid. That's my thoughts on that. In terms of the virus itself, I would recommend that everybody do research. Go look up SARS-CoV-2. Go research, for yourself. Some of this stuff is accessible on the internet still. So there's been a lot of journals and articles written over the years concerning the coronavirus and the outbreak. So just go do your research. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself aware of what SARS is. This stuff has been around since like 2002, 2003. Right now, the strain is probably mutated and different a little bit, but this is not new news. Or I should say it's not new news. It's not new. It's not really new. It may be a new strain or mutated or something like that, but bacteria, viruses, they do that. You know what I mean? Well, viruses because they're living, but y'all know. Y'all just do some research, man. Don't wild out. Big L-00, my brother. Y'all go holler at Big L-00, man. Follow my brother. Do big things with this, with basketball. Lady Prime. Shout out my brother, Big L-00. We call him Lil O, Single O. Nah, that's my brother though. I ain't gonna mess with him.
I'm a superstitious
What's going on, King?
And if some unlucky accident superfall,
My brother. Yeah, he made this shirt for me. You know what I mean? Of course, y'all know I designed it. Myself. My brother L-00 is the one that got the equipment and told me that, he said, Tank, I could do that for you, and put it on a t-shirt. And I always appreciate, when people show me love, I show it right back. It's reciprocal. Anything I could do for anybody, y'all let me know. I got you. Is that my cousin? What's up, cuzzo? Miss you too. I love you. Be safe out there. Take all the necessary precautions. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from people because you don't know who's infected with what. That's in general. In general. You know what I mean? People who know me know that I work in the mental health field and in schools. In the educational field, so I have sick children I deal with all the time. They get sent to school, so I'm already into the mindset of, keeping certain level, social distancing and hygiene and things like that. So just be mindful of that. I love you too, cousin. I do. I love you. Don't ever think that it's time from each other and lack of communication, constant communication. That's just, we all living our lives, you know what I'm saying? But I love you. You know what I mean? I love everybody I grew up with. You know what I mean? What's up with you though? My brother Joey, that's crazy because a lot of people don't know where we all came from. You know what I mean? In terms of how we came to the positions that we all been in. Joey been doing music. Joey been a fly DJ. Joey been hot. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because he's sharing it with more and more people as we got older, and I'll be watching from afar. I see you, Joey. You already know it's going to be William S. in the background. L00. You know, it's like the soundtrack. And the name of this mixtape is William S. Presents John Henry. If y'all like that music, let me know. I mean, like I said, I'm just in here because I know people want to know how I'm doing. I'm a natural introvert. I'm introverted, so I don't like being out there like that, but, you know, I figure if people want to ask me questions, this is the place to ask, since we all on lockdown. Oh, so look, Presto Ernesto Mendoza. That's another one of my brothers. When I first moved out here, you know, I only had so many people that I could relate to. And Presto Ernesto Mendoza, he's a fly photographer. Y'all go follow that man. Y'all see Ernesto, go follow him. And you know, he's a photog now. But I know him when he was growing up. He's a martial artist, an excellent martial artist. And that's how we actually connected because, you know, being a young black man or a young black kid at the age, you know, as a teenager, it was kind of hard at the time. Martial arts wasn't really big with you know, young black people, but Ernesto and I connected because he knew martial arts, I knew martial arts, and so we would, you know, mess around and do some stuff, exchange techniques, things like that. So I see you, Ernesto. That's my brother right there. You know what I mean? Shout out to you, your family, his boys dance. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Man, I'll be watching y'all from afar. Y'all think I just be over here chilling in my own world. I do be in my own world. I do get my own studies. I see I got the books. I got DVDs. I got, you know, I'm in my own lane. But, you know, I'll be watching y'all from afar. Anybody that's ever supported me or influenced me or anything like that as I was growing up, you know, I watch y'all from afar, and I make sure that y'all, that I'm watching y'all grow. And I support y'all 100%, even if I don't see you all the time. So, yeah, Ernesto's boys, they dance. They get down bad. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. Y'all don't know me. I'm your Uncle Tank. Like, I don't know if y'all seen, what is that, Dabble, the new Dabble, as Mark Lawrence said. He said, I'm your Uncle Marcus, but we'll talk about that later. I'm your Uncle Tank. We'll talk about that later, y'all. What's up, though? Yeah, Ernesto. That's Taekwondo. Y'all don't mess with him. G5 Gabe. Salute, my brother. G5. That's real spit. Shout out to G5 Gabe, man. Look, anybody that's on my live that y'all see up here, please go follow them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this alone. You know what I mean? I associate with like-minded people. We don't agree on everything. We don't have the same viewpoints on everything, but we all think. And that's the important thing. You know, you want to be around people who are independent thinkers to help yourself grow. You know, nobody knows everything. So, you know what I mean? At least on this realm, nobody on this planet knows everything. If somebody acting like they know everything, leave those people alone. My boy Johnny. Your video is sideways? Why y'all didn't tell me my video is sideways? Well, it's because my the way it's set up, it's sideways. So I'm glad Johnny told me it was sideways. I'm over here looking at my writing like that. I'm gonna try to set it up. Should I stop this? We all. That's right. We gotta upload, uplift and promote each other, like my brother Gabe said. Let me see. How can I do this? You know what? That sucks because it only fits in the what do you call this? The fuck it, let it ride. Turn your phone. I know, but it's in this damn tripod light thing. Let me see. Let me see. Oh shit! Now something happened. Hold on. My bad. I didn't do that. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to show off my brother's work. I'm trying to show off my logo. That's why it's sideways. For me, it's all love. It's all good. It's all gravy, baby. But for y'all, I don't want everybody looking at me like this. So let me see what I got to do. I know I got to turn my phone, but I'm trying to see if I can still have it set up in here.
Went from the valley to Hollywood and back again. With a million stories to tell, a million ways to excel. Got bomb music to sell, not to mention the chlorophyll. California sunshine, one shot kill. Gotta have big cheddar to make it here. They wanna make it hard to survive. When the cost of living is double the price. We're just living day to day to get you double your life. Niggas I grew up with serving multiple years of their life. They make examples of black men committing petty crimes. Old folks always asking why we promoted in rhyme. What we speak in the rhymes is nothing new. The problem is getting them to listen when we speaking the truth. So we tell you what we going through lyrical quotes. Shut me down, man, they can't come close. I wasn't type to break the chains before we got off the boat. Come to y'all dramatic, get equipped with the toast. Fucking with my flock. That's how we trying to do it, man. Nah. Yeah, this is my culture, this is my talent. This is 1/8 of the gallon. Move like magic, put my hand in every aspect. Even though I'm headed for the casket, I'm trying to see success in this rap shit. Born and raised Riverside, came up in the valley during the Renaissance. Traveled the world, went to the land of the Holocaust. See how they live in third world situations. For my mother and father, I got much appreciation. Too many niggas take the giving for granted. Time to multiply my worth on this planet. Budget right, and the vibes from the suckers, cause I got the advantage. No fear for my intelligence. Embellish this rap game like Smith Cali Kings. Beat makers leaving you celibate. Can't fuck with us, cause my whole squad is heavy hitters. Get on the level with it, several talking grave diggers. I got them quick to back down from a brave nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
How can I get merch? How can I get a shirt? How can I blah. Right now, I don't have them yet. This is just, I have them made for myself, just to check my logo out, make sure I'm good to go. What you want to know about it?
Hey.
You know what? Speaking of merch.
Welcome everybody to the Survivor Series, I like to call it.
I keep telling y'all to
You
go
fucking with me.
subscribe
I'm
and
fucking
follow
with you,
other people
nah.
on my channel. 1982. Go follow
Nope.
him.
It's nobody like him,
I don't know
dog.
if y'all seen him with the Humble and Hungry
Nah.
shirt. Stay
Basically, I just want to get y'all on the same page as me, so if everybody turn to chapter 1. Hey, they said that I would never succeed successfully. I fought my way through the haters, they was testing me. Be at peace with yourself when you address this beat. The worst thing to do is speak in eternal sleep. I showed them all, you don't have to have $1 million studio to get some recognition. Just a vision and a crazy flow. Not to mention it will help to have a little dough. To help you rise like an imbalance of hormones. My little talent moved the crowd at a gang of shows. College kids groove with Willie out in Mexico. I showed and proved it was nothing to do. I stand out on the track like a training route. Anybody in my way, I come barreling through. Afterwards, they'll send the coroner to tell them the truth. The autopsy, holy reads, you can't stop me. I'm shot to the Lakers of Gretzky to Irie. There ain't a scope accurate enough to pop me. From many distance, my nigga, I'm long-winded. Got a lot of stamina, spitting them long sentences. And this is just a
tattoos. My body has no tattoos.
The name is William S. I came here to make a killing. You lost love, I'm here to restore the feeling. Get money and you up in the building.
I'm original.
Taking over the building.
The music is drowning my voice. Thank you for letting me know, Carl. The Haitian Prince. Is that better? Is that better, Carl? Can y'all hear me now? If you can hear me now, turn the music is down all the way. That's what I'm saying. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Put a 3. Perfect. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, so yeah. I don't do tattoos. I don't know if you heard me when I was saying that, but I don't do tattoos. My whole body is non-tatted. We original as presently constructed, minus a few knife wounds, burns, and scars and things like that. You know, I got no tattoos. We don't do tattoos. You know, salute. You couldn't hear me. So what was you saying about your merch? No, I wasn't saying anything about my merch. I was saying go follow Tees 1982. Tees _1982 so everybody can get their merch from you. I was saying that anybody that's out there that seen my Humble and Hungry shirt or my Stay Self-Invested hoodie, it came from Tees 1982. That's my brother from another. Holla at that brother, man. He's always working. He has a passion for pressing and printing out apparel. So, you know, you holler at that brother and follow him on his stuff. You can play the music, just turn it down a little bit. Y'all let me know if it get too loud. Thank you. Be interactive. You need one of mine. You need one of mine. Well, you know the deal. We gonna get that out there for everybody. It's still a work in progress. I want to add a couple more things to the back of the t-shirt before I really put it out there. But I really do appreciate the love on the logo. You know, what do you think Spence Jr. next match should be? My thoughts on Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is coming off of a situation where he was reminded of how blessed he was. And when you're dealing with life or death situations like that, he's obviously back on the grind, back working. He's let that be known for us through his social media accounts. We appreciate you, champ. But the only person that will really know how he is doing is his trainer. So, and what he's ready for. I can't say what he's ready for. You know, I want to see always the best fight the best. You know, no doubt. Everybody wants to see Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. But, you know, there's other fights out there. If that can't be made, you know, Danny Garcia is a good fight. He just had a close fight with Sean Showtime Porter. So that's always a good fight to see that one again. Manny Pacquiao's out there. That's a fight we haven't seen that we want to see. Of course, I don't know how y'all all of a sudden don't want to see this fight anymore just because, but Keith Thurman was the man, and everybody was saying they want to see Thurman versus Spence at one particular time, and all of a sudden, y'all acting like that's dissipated. Let's see the best fight the best. You know, we know he was injured. You know, Keith Thurman is a man. You know, some people don't like him. Some people say that Keith Thurman didn't fight this guy, didn't fight that guy when he was injured. You know, and then when he wasn't injured, the man when he got married, he can't go get married and take time off. You know, a lot of people got to understand these boxers fight. A lot of these boxers have been fighting since they were kids, so their bodies need to rest. But Errol Spence Jr., I think that he got options. You know, once he gets right, you know, he'll be all right. You know, I want to see him in all kind of fights. Danny most likely. I mean, that's fine. I'm a fan of Danny Garcia. Not that matters, but you know, Danny has earned his position in boxing to you know, get these fights. I think that would be a great fight, Danny versus Spence. All these fights would be great. You know what I mean? I agree. You know, I agree. You know, that's the thing about the welterweight division. You know, there's so many different fights that could be made that are great fights. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of them. I don't know why people tripping and acting like the welterweights aren't mixing up, because one guy that's a star, a superstar, and an extremely talented boxer is not able to fight the other guys who are fighting each other. They're all fighting each other. We've already seen Thurman versus Garcia. We've already seen Thurman versus Porter. We've already seen Thurman versus Pacquiao. You know, you talk about resumes. You know, we've seen these guys fighting already. So, you know, let's stop acting like fights aren't getting made. Ugas again. You know, Ugas can fight Porter. Ugas can fight Garcia. Ugas can fight Crawford. You know, there's a lot of good fights out there. Why do you think Pacquiao gets more credit beating the same opponents Mayweather has beat? Why do I think Pacquiao gets more credit? Because he has you gotta understand, that's a good question, but you gotta understand, when people like a person, they're gonna get more credit if somebody does the same thing that they don't like. So, Manny Pacquiao is a beloved figure. Just him, he's a beloved figure. Outside of his boxing, people like his story. At least the story that's presented. There's other things, there's other aspects of Manny Pacquiao that... Hold on real quick. There's other aspects of Manny Pacquiao that, and his story that they don't talk about, that other boxers have had to deal with. The scrutiny of, you know, negative things that have gone on in their lives, whether it's their personal lives or whatnot, that Manny had to deal with. But we don't know about those things because that's in the Filipino press. It's not even in our wheelhouse in terms of our media circuit. So we don't know about those things. So people just know the good things that American media talks about. Oh, he's good for his people. He takes the money and then takes it back to the Philippines and helps his people. And he's a senator. He's a politician. Well, it's interesting that Americans, you know, that are fans of Pacquiao be like, oh yeah, look at, he's a senator for his people. But then over here in America, we'd be like, man, politicians are liars. But, you know, politicians are professional liars. So, but, you know, when Manny Pacquiao does it, it's a great thing. But that's neither here nor there. Manny Pacquiao is a great fighter. He's not on Mayweather's level. When they fought, Mayweather showed that there's a difference between his level and Pacquiao's level. He beat Manny Pacquiao with, you know, pivots, check hooks, using defensive angles that Manny Pacquiao wasn't even prepared for. He didn't even know what Mayweather was most of the fight. That's what I'm saying. The fashion he beat him, and he beat him so easily, it was just like people thought it was boring. It's funny because when Manny Pacquiao fought Mayweather, before he fought him, like 5 years before that, I was telling people, and Sam, if you're out there, you need to holler at me, because I told you 5-6 years prior to Mayweather Pacquiao ever happening that it was going to be anticlimactic for you. I told you that. You was big on Manny and he was going to knock him out and blah, 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 whenever they fight. You said whenever they fight. And I told you it was going to be anticlimactic because Mayweather was on a different level in terms of skills. Manny Pacquiao didn't even know what he was seeing. What do you see in the near future for the Charlos brothers? It's hard to tell anything with this new situation. We don't know anything about what's going to happen right now. Everything is being grinded to a halt and shut down. Seems like we haven't. Earth is being locked down. You know, we're just waiting for extraterrestrials or something like that next. Apparently, you know, I think I seen a meme that it says, "What's next for 2020?" and then it said April, and then it had like aliens and stuff coming. That was funny. But anyways, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. But as far as the Charlos, to your question, what I like to see? I like to see Jamal Charlo get a fight with Demetrius Andrade. I like to see Jamal Charlo, the 160-pound welterweight champion, get a fight against Demetrius Andrade. because apparently, Canelo Alvarez, is going to fight Gennady Golovkin again for money. We already know that fight, how that fight's going to look. It's going to be evenly matched. Canelo might stop him, or, maybe Triple G got a little bit left in the tank to stop him, but I'd like to see Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. Personally, I think that's it. I'm a Demetrius Andrade fan. I'm a fan of boxing skills. I do understand when guys are injured. I do understand when the business of boxing prohibits fights from happening. I don't fault fighters for that, because fighters are in there putting their lives on the line, risking life, death, and injury for our entertainment. So they want to get the best deal that they possibly can and be in the best hands that they possibly can. And sometimes we listen to outside advisors on how we're going to get that best. And I don't think Demetrius Andrade is the first fighter to have to go through that. We've seen Mikey Garcia go through it. We've seen Floyd Mayweather Jr. go through it. So, just because you don't like the fact that a guy talks while he's going through that, that's irrelevant to me. He's supposed to talk. He's supposed to believe in himself and his talents. And, he's asking for guys. You can't say that Demetrius Andrade wasn't asking for guys. You can never say that. But what do I think? Boxing Sim, what's going on? Please make a boxing game, somebody. Make a new boxing game. That's good, though. What's the update on the Gypsy cheating using the Farmer Man? I'm tired of talking about Tyson Fury's cheating scandal, only on the aspect of, because it seems like anytime someone talks about it, people are acting as if we can't talk about cheating in boxing, when it's been like that since the mob was running it. But from what I hear, the farmer is providing the evidence that they had him sign, whatever they had him sign or whatever. I saw somebody say that, or I got a notification saying that Tyson admitted something. I don't know. That was 5 years ago anyway, though. Tease 1982. Not to say that there's a statute of limitation on cheating. If you cheat, you cheat, and that should be taken into consideration. My thing with Tyson Fury and the cheating scandal, or the steroid, that is only brought up from me to counter the idea that he's above reproach or has so much integrity that he would never cheat, which is what people were saying. So the fact that this happened and this is coming out breaks that down a little bit, so that people can understand the perspective that other people have on why they feel he cheated in the Deontay Wilder fights. Its inception. Yeah, since its inception, boxing has been doing it. I think that's what you're referring to as far as the cheating. It's been like that. You know what I mean? All right. Okay, let me say all this. There's a brother that just joined named King Kelly, 77. Now that brother, when I moved from LA County, when I moved out here to the IE, I couldn't relate to nobody really. You know what I mean? I really didn't. I wasn't feeling nobody out here. I was kind of to myself. I'm already a natural, like I said, I'm an introvert, so I kind of stay away from people. But that brother right there, that was the first dude that I've linked up with, that I was like, okay, I'm not here alone. He was coming in there too, new, and so I really, I vibe with that brother, King Kelly, when I first moved out here. Him and Ernesto, you know what I mean? It was a little group of us, but as far as the first ones, King Kelly, salute, brother. You safe out there driving, man. I know you over there doing, making sure that we all get our goods and services out there on them roads, driving them trucks. Same thing with Real Rap. I know you want to get back at it. Thank you, Johnny, for making this interactive, because I see you're the one asking a lot of questions and I want to answer them. Do you think the introductions of the fighters are getting out of hand, basically saying that they're coming into the ring like wrestlers? How do you feel about that? I love it. Boxing is entertainment. I don't feel like it's getting out of hand at all. Long as we ain't parachuting in the ring or coming on a zip line like Shawn Michaels, I'm good with that. I don't want you to injure yourself or put yourself in any harm. But you know, if you can make it entertaining. Clarissa Shields' entrance, her last fight was dope. I mean, shout out to the GOAT, the greatest woman of all time. Clarissa Shields' entrance was awesome. She came out there like a queen, came out there to dance into Beyonce's little thing or whatnot. Had champion after champion, fighter after fighter with cachet lined up behind her. She, you know what I'm saying, everybody from Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, you know, Shakur Stevenson. Can't hate on these entrances. I love them. I love the entrances. Yeah, censorship people. Let me go back to Real Rap. People acknowledge scandals in boxing until it doesn't fit their narrative. Yeah, you know. But, you know, my thing is, you can mess up. Because none of us are infallible. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. So you can mess up. That's not the issue. The thing is, when people pretend as if a person is perfect and can't mess up, and then you have to bring out, hey, look, they cheated over here. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to bring up the fact that you cheated, but, you know, in the past. You know what I'm saying? Salute Real Rap. That's my guy. And I'm telling y'all, I told y'all already, whenever y'all see somebody in my thing, in my live, go follow them. They're all good peoples. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Gary Russell. Yes, Gary Russell was fired too. There's a couple, man. I mean, even Tyson Fury coming out as the Gypsy, because he's the Gypsy King. So he came out with the decked out with like a. I love the entrances. Keep it going. Errol Kelly. Damn, I'm telling y'all, that's one of my day ones. That's my brother. You know, we gonna link up, Kels. King Kelly. We gonna link up. But why didn't Andre Ward and Triple G fight didn't happen? That's funny. All right, I'm gonna take this moment to plug my brother Leon and his brand Champside. Please go follow Champside on all social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Go follow Champside. Now, last night he just did a show about that. So if you get a chance and you get some spare time, anybody that wants to know why Andre Ward and Triple G fight never happened, go look at Champside's archives and you'll see that he brought that up last night. Now, as far as me personally, what I think is Triple G didn't want that work. And now I'm not saying that Triple G was scared. I'm saying that his team, that's too much work. You got to think from the coach's aspect. The coaches got to dissect Andre Ward. They got to go look at tape. They got to go find out where his weaknesses are. When you look at that, you be like, damn, where are the weaknesses at? My guy can punch hard. My guy can cut off the ring. But in terms of boxing skills on the level that Andre Ward, and Andre was was already naturally bigger than him, I don't think they wanted any of those kind of problems. That's too much work. That's too much work. Johnny, you crazy. There ain't no old ass questions, man. You own it. You know what I'm saying? You want to know something. If I can answer it, I can. If I don't know it, I don't know it. I can't answer something I don't know, but I do know that if Triple G had fought Andre Ward, that wouldn't have been bad. We wouldn't got a chance to see the explosion of popularity of Triple G as it became because I believe that Andre Ward would have embarrassed Gennady Golovkin. The gatekeepers, ooh, shit. Hold on, let me get my statement from my brother, King Kelly. The gatekeepers of the sport are more responsible than the athletes. Yes, that's facts. It has a long history of cheating because the gatekeepers of the sport of boxing, they protect their interest, right? So, you usually you have a history of fighters not fighting other guys, not because boxers are afraid of another boxer. These are combat sports. A lot of boxers have been fighting since they were kids. Y'all got to keep that in your mind. They're not afraid to fight anybody. They've been fighting since they were kids, and a lot of the guys that they're being asked to fight, they fought them in the amateurs coming up because they're all in the same era of boxing for the most part. Unless you're trying to fight legends and things like that. But for the most part, shout out to Diligent Boxing. We're gonna get the interview, Bobby. Don't even trip. In terms of the gatekeepers, like King Kelly was bringing out, that's so true. Because when you guys think of gatekeepers, for the most part, you think of promotional companies and managers. But there's another element to that. You guys got to understand that these venues that fighters fight at, they have a say-so too. These networks that they fight on, they have a say-so too. So they have fighters that they have contracts with. A lot of people hated Mayweather or hated on Mayweather for fighting at the MGM Grand at the end of his career, but they were not aware that Floyd had a contract with the MGM Grand. So if they're going to break bread and cut big checks, I'm going to fight at your venue because Floyd was getting money on things like if you go to a hotel and you get a do not disturb sign, right? Say do not disturb or something real trivial like that. Well, when it was a Floyd Mayweather fight, you got a do not disturb sign with a marketing promo of the fight on the sign. These are things that he was making money off of that you guys are not even thinking about. He's making money off the concession stands. The MGM Grand was taking care of him, so of course he's going to have his fights at the MGM Grand. I think until the McGregor fight, because at that point his contract was up with the MGM Grand. So a lot of fighters have, contracts with these different places. And in terms of the gatekeepers, back to King Kelly, that's kind of changing now, thanks to Floyd Mayweather, primarily. But there was people that was precursors to that, like Roy Jones took his career into his own hands. Bernard Hopkins, at a particular point, took his career into his own hands. We know about Oscar De La Hoya. But when Floyd did it, it was a little bit, he took it to an extreme and said, look, we can do even more than that, guys, as fighters, and get some of these gatekeepers out of the way and dictate our own future. And that was something that when Floyd did that, you got to respect that, because now fighters like Mikey Garcia and others are taking that blueprint and then incorporating it into what they can do. Okay, let me get caught up with this. Oh, shit. I keep checking the thing. What's popping, Bobby? What's going on? I'm going to sound like a broken record because everybody that comes in here, I'm going to tell you, go follow them. Please go follow Diligent_Boxing. All right? Go follow them on social media platforms. Bobby and Victor do very great interviews. And they, for our local fighters here in the Inland Empire, they give them a platform where they can talk about anything, whether they're amateurs, pros, or whatnot. And they talk about a gamut of things that, we as boxing fans want to hear. And it gives them a space to be themselves. And that's what we want. We don't like old media. I'm going to tell you just like that. We don't like the way that old media did things, where they created a narrative, and then because I like a fighter or I dislike another fighter or an athlete in general, I'm going to create this news story and this image about them with my pen, with my voice, with my mind. We like now, and there's a new era of media to allow the athletes to have their own voice. You know what I mean? That's why it's disappointing to see some some of you athletes not utilizing your social media platforms at this particular time when the country is pretty much shut down, or the world is grinding down to a halt in some aspects. You got to be on these platforms connecting with your fans, connecting with the people that's going to support you. Get out there, you know what I mean? Stop hesitating, stop waiting. You know, a lot of you guys are out there and you guys have followers and people that are interested in your story. And you're worried about, well, they talked about me over here and they talked about me over there. Well, you have an opportunity to clear all that up right here and use your own platform to use your voice and tell your own story. And I appreciate Diligent Boxing as one of the platforms that allowed them to do that. Real rap, nice background music. That's William S. Go follow William S. on go follow William S. Please. That brother is one of the best rappers. He's in my top 10. Nobody knows who he is, but I know who he is, and those who know who he is. Champ side. Triple G ain't what? Triple G didn't want that smoke. Exactly. Andre Ward should fight Canelo. We need good fights this year. Andre Ward, okay. I understand what you're saying, Diligent Boxing, especially because of what's going on now. We need mega fights. We don't need super fights. We need mega fights. But Andre Ward's retired, and I think he should stay retired. I don't think he has anything to prove to anybody. I think that if the money is right, he may come out and fight. And Canelo might be the only viable candidate to make that kind of money. But what do you go from there? My thing with fighting legends that are retired is this: if a legend is already retired and they come out of retirement and they win, where do they go from there? If they're not interested in fighting, so do they become a spectacle and go out there and just fight the next big guy in the next 3, 4, 5 years? You know, if Andre Ward comes out of retirement and fights Canelo at 175 and beats Canelo or embarrasses Canelo, that damages Canelo's entire brand. You know what I mean? It does really nothing for Andre Ward because Andre Ward is solidified. He's the last gold medalist that we've had. You know, Andre Ward, he's solidified. He's beat a legitimate 175-pound in Kovalev twice. So, you know, he doesn't win. If he fights Canelo, they're going to be like, yeah, but Ward's a natural bigger guy. It would be interesting to see from a skills standpoint, though, because the chess match, Canelo is actually a very smart fighter. He's very, very smart. Facts. Ward would have put that fuse out a long time ago. Facts. I'm glad you're on giving out your knowledge. We need people like you, Champside, to give the real. You and Champside to give the real. I appreciate that, brother. Y'all know I don't like be behind the scenes. I was about to do this whole thing in my black ski mask. No, I'm just playing. I wasn't about to do that.
What the fuck is going on?
I wasn't about to do that.
What's your mess, nigga?
Roy Jones was a... Okay. And I'm glad you brought that up, Diligent Boxing, because and that goes back to something that Tease 1982 said, and bringing up old shit. Bring it up. We can talk about whatever. We got that time. What y'all gonna do? You know what I mean? Okay, so Roy Jones, this is just my personal opinion. Roy Jones is the most athletic boxer I've ever seen. His instincts, he probably had some of the best instincts and reflexes and things like that. The fights that he had, the way he made guys look, it was crazy. He had like a 50-fight stretch where it was just like, who can fight this guy? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, going back to something that King Kelly said, promoters and guys that are gatekeepers didn't allow certain fights to happen. But I'm glad that I was in the era that I did get to see Roy Jones fight, you know, the Bernard Hopkins and James Toney's. So, You know, those I think very highly of those fighters. Of course, Diligent Boxing. Of course. Raul 6. No Raul. What's up? Yes, Big L double O, L double O. Okay, am I caught up in this? L double O. Please go follow Diligent Boxing. He does have a YouTube channel. Great interviews. Diligent Boxing has a great team. Like I say, he and Victor do great interviews, man. I really appreciate watching Bobby and Victor do their thing, man. Diligent Boxing. Go follow them on Instagram, Twitter, if they got that. Any platform that you can find them on their social media, please go follow them. A lot of up-and-coming fighters need the space to be themselves, and they provide that, definitely. Old media is like stale chips, real rap, facts. Nobody want to eat no stale chips. Haitian Prince, just follow them. Yes, sir. Go follow Diligent Boxing, y'all. Find them. And look, you don't always have to agree with people. They may have a perspective or not Diligent Boxing, but they, being anybody that I tell you to follow, may have a difference of opinion than you, a different perspective on anything. That's not the point. The point is, are they providing a platform for you can have independent thought? Are they providing an alternative perspective that maybe you weren't even thinking about? You know what I mean? And are they doing it from the heart and from a good space? You know, that's what matters. What up, Genos? What's going on, King? How you doing, brother? That's what I love about you, brother. You're not biased. You tell it real. I have my biases. I do got my biases. I just try not to make people think the way I think. My thing is, I'll share a perspective and I'll share my position, and then I'll defend that position. But I don't want you to think the way I'm thinking or think like me and agree with me all the time. If you agree, you agree. If I make you think about something that you were not thinking about in terms of a particular aspect or something, then that's cool. But that's not my goal. My goal is just to only defend my position and what I think and why I think about what I think. That's my goal, My brother Jay Worldwide. Okay, now, again, go follow Jay Worldwide. Just like that. Shout out, Coach. Jay Worldwide is a boxing coach right here in the Inland Empire, and he takes a lot of these young talents out here and, gives them a place to where they can channel that young energy. Y'all know some of you, everybody in here is a grown man, but we was all young men, and we know that there's a certain level of testosterone that builds up when you start to grow into your own and hit puberty and things like that. And you want to have people who can take you and channel that into something positive, and that's exactly what Jay Worldwide does. You know what I'm saying? And congratulations on your new blessing, your beautiful princess, man. I love your stories, and I really vibe off of you and your queen. How y'all the way y'all entertain and love each other, man. That's a special blessing. And shout out to EJ too. I know you. I haven't seen you in a minute, but his son is EJ. He's a young up-and-coming boxer. Shout out to EJ and Josue Vargas. Y'all already know what I think about Josue. That's a very talented young champ. Can y'all still hear that music though? I hear that music, that William S. I don't want it to drown out. What y'all thinking though? What's up with y'all though? I see I had some questions that was pretty interactive. That was pretty cool. This is the first time I ever went, did something like this. So I was like, hey, why not? Okay. I'm gonna talk to my brother William S. because every time I have his music in my videos or whatnot, people actually hit me on the DM and ask about him. Your boy Wonder. In general, all the above. Is there any young boxers we should be looking for in the Inland Empire? Several. But I'm going to say that's on a particular level. The highest young prospect that we have, I would say, would be King Ryan Garcia out of Victorville. You know, that as far as a high level. But we do have fighters like Anthony Chavez out there who I want y'all to be looking out for. That's a good brother. Congratulations on your new baby blessing. That's a good fight. He just had a surgery on his hand, recovering from that. Anthony Chavez. Who else? You know, there's so many. I mean, Lobito, Jesse Gonzalez. Man, I know I'm bad. I know it's gonna be a bunch of dudes like, Tank, why you didn't mention me? Who else we got? Darius Harris. Darius deactive. Who's coming off of an eye injury procedure. Look out for him. Look out for who else can I say? Let's see. Saul Rodriguez, of course, some of you already know Nano. There's a couple out there though. I'm missing somebody that I want to say and it's slipping my mind, and my bad. What's your top MCs from any region, any time period? I know you love Ice Cube, but what are other lyricists you relate to? Other lyricists outside of Ice Cube? I want to talk about how dope Ice Cube is, because he's the GOAT.